I'm just going to lay this out there as straight as I can, because I don't know what else to do with the information this important. What was in that envelope feels like a kind of stuff that could get me killed. Part of me wishes I never opened it, and that Sarah had never found it. The other part of me is feeling like we're incredibly close to piecing together the hidden past of the Dredge, and that this is the most interesting and exciting thing that has ever happened to me. I think it might be even more incredible than Sarah and I could have imagined. There were 3 pieces of paper in the envelope. Meeting notes, Boyle's formula, JB's trial and the amendments, purpose of the code, systematic method for reclaiming the assets. Controversial lost papers by Boyle published. London British scientist Robert Boyle, 1627 to 1691, regarded in some circles as the father of the scientific investigative method employed by virtually all contemporary research, has had some of his most historic works come under close scrutiny with the publication of herefore unseen works, revealing that Boyle spent many years dabbling in alchemy. Those documents to be published later, this month by Scientific Quarterly. Prestigious book division primarily concerned themselves with the scientific pursuit of turning gold into the precious of non-precious metals, and vice versa. Reaction from British historians has been considerably negative, so for calling the SQ a halt of publishing in order to protect the good name of Sir Boyle. Boyle's alchemist formula is separating and liquefying gold to test the amends by Joseph Bush and Ernest Watts, MD. Make a paste of equal parts astronomy and sublimate, being careful with your hands and lungs. Deliquest it, distill, and deliquest, and keep the liquid in non-porous containers. Mind the alchemy. It will not keep its potency beyond 30 minutes, so work quickly. Place the rocks or minerals that appear and contain gold in this liquation and cover with tight seal. Be careful not to breathe the fumes at this stage. After 20 to 25 seconds, open the container. The rocks will appear unchanged apart from the dusty white coating, much like the kafla of dead anomalic salt. Move the rocks to a container of distilled water. Must be distilled properly, and the water will turn dark gray almost immediately. Wait at least 50 seconds, but no more than 80, and pour through a fresh fine mesh screen. True gold will remain in the screen in granular form. Now grind a small measure of arthritic salt granulates to the fine powder. Add a drop of liquid, save for the distillic process, and pour the gold granulates on top. Gold will liquefy on contact in the working temperatures between 39 and 97 degrees Fahrenheit. The liquid remain liquid for up to 17 minutes. It can be poured into molds in the section as it is proper until the mold is filled. Wait 30 minutes after the fine pouring before removing the block of gold. So basically, while Robert Boyle was trying to discover a way to change gold into something else, he actually discovered something entirely different. That's kind of common science, I guess, searching for one answer and stumbling into another. Boyle never did figure out how to turn copper into gold, or gold into iron, but he did figure out other very interesting things. The first is how to quickly and easily separate the gold from something else so that the gold particles embedded in the rock could be freed and purified. Second, he figured out how to chemically alter gold in order to liquefy it without using heat, so that the particles of gold could be liquefied and gathered together in larger units without it to change in temperature. All of this is done through the chemical alchemy, and all it remained secret, even after the publishing of the Lost Boyle papers. It was Dr. Watts and Joseph Bush who thought to expand on Boyle's ideas and actually put them to practical use. Dr. Watts concluded the experiment and Joseph Bush wrote it on the paper and put the theories to test within the dredge itself. Clearly, Joseph Bush was a lot smarter than anyone imagined. The papers gave no details of the actual use of the theories of the particles, so I'm left to wonder about a lot of things. Did the secret society find out about the process? Did Joseph Bush use the process only to have other members of the Crossbone turn on him? Did the members of the Crossbone steal some quality gold from the dredge? If so, where did they hide it? And why did so many members of the Crossbones dead? Are they killing each other off in search of what or where Joseph Bush hid? Or is someone outside of the Crossbones killing off the Crossbone members? One thing stands above everything else that fell out of the mysterious envelope: a ghost of Joseph Bush. He wants revenge, and for some reason it turns its gaze on me and Sarah. Henry's gone, which bums me out. Things are already getting quieter around here. He said he wished more than ever that he could stay. I'd like to see them finally put an end to that thing. It's going to be quiet, a bonfire out there in the woods. I hope you got a good volunteer fire department in this town. This made me think of Sarah, since her dad happens to be a volunteer firefighter. He'll be standing there watching when it goes up. Him and all of his buddies. I wonder if they'll let me and Sarah go. And if they did, will we be able to stand next to each other while the phantom of Joe Bush gets burned into oblivion? I say this as if he's not already dead. I wish he were alive so I could ask him a few questions. Tell Sarah to record it for me, will you? Henry asked as he gave me a good old boy sideways hug. He didn't seem to remember I wasn't allowed to see her. I think he was just holding on, trying not to get upset at leaving. A second later, he was gone, big old cowboy hat and all, heading back to New York. He won't see him again until next year. To make matters worse, I still haven't heard from Sarah. I'm worried something might have happened to her. But her parents would have called here. She's at school. She'll contact me this afternoon, I'm sure of it. Dad took Henry to the airport, and Mom is at work, so the house is so silent. I took this envelope to the Blue Rock and left it for Sarah so she could read it. On the way back, I stopped at the cafe for a pie and coffee and stared out at the library for an hour. And then I came home, watched a game show on TV, and fell asleep outside on the porch sofa. It's almost 4:30, so I should have heard from Sarah by now. What's her plan to get the tape? What's she doing? Does she realize we only have tonight and tomorrow night, and that's it? After that, the dredge is gone. And all the secrets with it. I'm tempted to call her, but that would be really dangerous. I'll watch the historical channel instead. That'll kill an hour. This is driving me crazy. Why won't she call or email or throw a rocket at my window? Nothing, just dead air. Bad choice of words. My dad and Mom aren't talking much. They're taking a deep breath with Henry gone, trying to get used to the silence. Me, I'm smothered in silence. I can't take it anymore. Being alone and the quiet all the time. Thank God I start school on Monday. After that, I'll talk to Sarah all I want. We'll come up with a way or something so my parents don't find out. Daryl Booner just stopped by. That park ranger got a lot of nerve. It's 10 o'clock at night. Who stops by at 10 for a chat on the porch? I crept down the stairs so I could listen, because it occurred to me that maybe he had Sarah locked up or had heard something about her. Park rangers can't lock kids up, right? That's totally against the law. Anyways, he didn't lock her up, but he was looking for her. I couldn't hear much, but I heard enough. With the burn day coming up, I'm nervous she's going to try and get back in there. Why? I have no idea. Just keep an especially close eye on Ryan, will you? I'm not trying to say he's going anywhere, but she might try to contact him if she's got some sort of plan that includes the dredge. I'm sure she won't put it past her. I'll keep an eye on my boy, Dad says. You don't need to worry about that. I felt like a prisoner under the house arrest. What gave him the right? But I could see the way my parents were so nervous to hear it from Daryl Booner. Sarah was completely out of control and might drag me down with her. She was a friend no parents wanted their child to have. If only they knew I'm just as involved as Sarah is. She is out in the open where everyone could see, and I'm lying and sneaking around every bit as much as she is. She's out there tonight doing something. I know it. She's involved in Longhorns or Dr. Watt's house or the dredge. She doesn't trust me anymore. Why is she holding out on me? Why not at least check in and say hello? I can't understand what's gotten into her. I've never felt so alone. Hallelujah. She sent me a video.